Let's talk about marriage. Specifically, let's talk about renegotiating the marriage. If you've been married for a while, or even if things have changed a lot in your marriage, maybe you were just a couple and then you had a child or children and things changed drastically. Sometimes job changes, just big changes in life that end up coming about that kind of change the way that you spend time together and the routine of the house and even just how you are. When big changes like that come in your life, you often find that what you were doing before doesn't necessarily work as well for you. It might not necessarily feel right inside for you. You might find that you're a little bit more stressed and overwhelmed, and you just know that something needs to be changed. Well, in those circumstances, I would highly recommend that you have a conversation with your spouse about renegotiating the marriage. When I talk about renegotiating the marriage, one of the things that I'm talking about is having a conversation, maybe a few conversations, after you've kind of done a little bit of self evaluation and figured out what changes you'd like to see in your life and your relationship to make you more fulfilled and make you more happy. And then sitting down and having those conversations with your spouse. And this is not a blame game time. This isn't a time to unload on them and tell them all the things that they're doing wrong. This is a time when you're just having an easy, casual conversation. Hopefully, the kids aren't around and you're in a situation that's calm. Maybe you're having a nice dinner out, or maybe you've made a nice dinner at home, maybe a couple of drinks, and you just need to have a good conversation talking about, hey, our life has changed. We aren't the same people that we were before we had children or before the move or before the job change. And things have just changed a lot. And there's certain things that I realize that aren't very fulfilling to me. And I would like to see if we can switch some things around in our routine and how we are so that it can be a better marriage for me and a better marriage for you. So I'm going to share with you some things that I've realized for myself, and maybe you can share some things that you've realized for yourself, and maybe we can figure out where we have some needs that aren't being met, and maybe even talk about some fears about if it continues like this. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I don't feel very fulfilled. So meet eye to eye and heart to heart, not a argument, and like I said, not a place to unload, but just sitting two people that loved each other, that got together in the first place to figure out how you might meet each other's needs. Because, bottom line is, marriage is not ownership. Marriage is meant to partner and to collaborate and to build a life together. But that doesn't mean that we quit being who we are and that we still don't have dreams and desires, sometimes even some separate from being a couple, things that we would like to fulfill for ourselves outside of the marriage that have nothing to do with how happy you are or anything else. It's just about meeting your needs and being able to do things in life that feel very fulfilling, sometimes that your spouse isn't necessarily interested in and does not want to do. So I would just highly recommend that if you've got some places in your life where you're feeling that you're not super fulfilled and that it could be a little bit better in your marriage, self evaluate, invite your spouse to meet you in conversation, ask them to also evaluate, huh, what do they wish they had in their life that they don't now? And speak those needs and those dreams and those desires into the space and sit and listen to each other and be present so you can figure out, what might we be able to change around? How could we switch our routine up to kind of help the other person be more happy and more fulfilled? And it refreshes the marriage, it brings new energy and fresh air into the marriage, and it can really make a difference for you both feeling more fulfilled as individuals and also more connected as a couple. So I hope you'll give it a try sometime. And hopefully it works for you as well as it did for me. And you might even find that you end up doing it several times throughout the marriage. You talk about a way to make a marriage work and to make a marriage last and to be in a long term marriage and stay happy. Both of you meeting each other in this space from time to time and having this heart to heart with presence can make a big, big difference in how you move forward in your marriage and how happy you feel in it. So, good luck. Let me know if you do it and how it worked for you. This has been Alicia with a sage insight for well being from askalecia.com. If you'll take a moment and hit subscribe down below, then you'll get my videos. I'd love it if you'd like them as well. And there's a bell right next to the subscribe button. So if you'd like to get future videos, especially before they're posted on social media, go ahead and hit that bell and you'll be the first one to be notified.